So I want to clarify a few misconceptions about Facebook as a promotional platform, especially for small businesses, as I often get asked by small business owners about Facebook marketing and if it's for them, if they should use it, and how they should use it. So the conversation generally goes as follows. Neil, should we be on Facebook? John has come to me, he's one of our staff members, and said that it would be a really good idea to be on Facebook so we can get this extra exposure that everyone's talking about. He says it's free because Facebook doesn't charge for you to be on Facebook, so it seems like a no-brainer. So firstly, Mr. or Mrs. Business Owner, it's not as simple as your staff member makes it out to be. So you really need to consider the following, and I put together a couple of questions just to get your mindset or your train of thought in the right direction. So once your own family and friends have liked the page, how are you going to reach a new audience? So you need to think about the strategy around reach and leads, etc. So did you know that the organic reach on a business's Facebook post is now less than 3%? So that means if you have 1,000 people following your business, which is not a bad number for a small business, only 30 of those people will be reached organically. So only 30 of them will actually see your post, let alone engage with your post. So how much time will your staff member take to find content to post to Facebook? So how does that time distract them from their day-to-day activities within their job? Are you using Facebook to build your brand or to generate leads? So you need a clear business objective there. How often does a person purchase a product or service that you sell? And the reason I ask this is that, so let's say you sell a product to a person once a year. Then what are you going to do, or how are you going to communicate to this person the other 364 days of the year? Because you can't be in selling mode in every post. The person will quickly become frustrated by an over-salesy approach and block your post. So you'll actually do more damage than any good. And then, does the content that you post only exist in Facebook? Because if it exists somewhere else, like your website, who is going to be updating your website before every Facebook post? And if you aren't going to publish the content on your website and you decide to curate the content from other websites, which then means you're driving visitors away from your own domain of influence, so then what are you going to do to turn them into a lead? And if you aren't interested in turning them into a lead, how are you going to build that trust? Are you really going to put all that effort into finding content on a website that is only going to give you 3% exposure to your audience? And then surely you aren't going to be putting budget towards a post that will drive traffic to a website that you don't own. So as soon as they've gone to that website, you've lost them. So it's pointless putting budget towards that. So all these questions, and I'm sure there are a lot more, go back to time as a small business. And time on a project can become a massive distraction and cost the business dearly. So without having a content strategy that can influence other channels like SEO, AdWords, and email, social media really becomes a waste of time. So if your focus is Facebook and you aren't thinking about these other channels and creating content assets, then you're most likely putting the cart before the horse. So we also need to go back to one of the points that I said earlier, the fact that most businesses are experiencing a less than 3% reach on their current Facebook audience. This means that ultimately it's become a pay-to-play platform. To be effective on Facebook, you need a budget. And like I said in a previous video, if your content is good and it's targeting the right audience, then your content will most likely work really hard for you, which means promotion budget will come down. But you'll still need a certain amount of budget to get that initial traction. You can't purely rely on organic reach, otherwise you will be swimming upstream. At the end of the day, Facebook promotion has become very strategic. So if you don't have a strategy and data to back up your performance, I'd strongly advise to stay very, very far away from Facebook. Rather focus your efforts on if leads and conversion are your number one goal, and someone's coming to you because you're going to get extra exposure and you're going to get leads, and they're saying Facebook is a channel, I would hesitate, or at least question that person around what I've just said in this video. I personally would rather go for that immediate lead through search intent using Google AdWords.